Magandang gabi mga kaibigan, kababayan at mga kapatid. Mainit pa rin pong isyu sa ngayon. Ito pong tungkol dito sa ICC o International Criminal Court na di umano ang ating Pangulo po ay pwedeng kasuhan dahil sa kanyang mga krimen laban sa sangkatauhan o crimes against humanity. Ang tanong po dito ay ano ba ang motibo sa nabanggit na aksyon ng ICC o International Criminal Court. Ito po ay alam natin na ito ay isang ahensya ng UN na nakabase sa US. At dito po ang sinasabi po natin na ang maaari po ang basihan ng ICC ay talagang politika. Bakit po sabi natin na ito ay politika? Sapagkat unang-una, alam po naman natin na mismo ang ating Pangulo ay hayag-hayagan ang kanyang pagiging kritiko sa Amerika, kung saan mas ipinakikita ng Pangulo ang kanyang pagpanig sa China o ang kanyang pagiging, sabihin na natin, bias in favor of China as against the US. And of course, the United States of America looks at it as anti-American gesture of President Duterte. At mayroon pang ang balita dyan na itong bagong Pangulo ng Amerika, si Joe Biden, is anti-Duterte. So, ano pong implication niyan? It could be possible that the ICC, being American-based, American influence, is motivated by political agenda of the US to oust President Duterte, in terms of saying that Duterte is really guilty of crimes against humanity with respect to his war against drugs and even against this CPP, NPA, MDF. Sapagkat if the US would succeed in ousting Duterte, definitely Robredo, being the vice president, would succeed, and there is no doubt to the effect that Robredo would be an American puppet president of the Republic of the Philippines. In that case, whatever America wanted of the Philippines over its interest or over her interest at the Philippine Sea would definitely be accorded by the Philippine President in the person of Leni Robredo. So, ang tingin po natin, ang ibig natin sabihin dito, na this is laying down the predicate for the ouster of the president, using the opposition as the party complainant in this case. Hopefully, they would be hoping that ICC findings to this effect might compel the president or might pressure him to either resign or to open the door for American intervention in terms of having Duterte submitted to the jurisdiction of the ICC as a criminal before the International Court of Justice, rather as an accused. To a certain degree, definitely, posibleng kung gano'n ang mangyari, ang tingin nila, ma-compel si Duterte o si Pangulong Duterte to either resign or masuspended by virtue of UN sanction. So, maring iyon ang pananaw nila. Na ang sabi nga natin, ang ating paninindigan dito, definitely we won't recognize that the jurisdiction of the ICC over the person of the president from the Philippine legal point of view, from Philippine laws. Although ang sinasabi nga ng Malacanang, it's not binding upon us because of our withdrawal over that Rome agreement which created the ICC. But kahit ano po yung assuming that the UN will not recognize our withdrawal, and the UN would still impose upon its decision upon the Philippines. As we have said, we will not recognize it, and they cannot force us to submit to that jurisdiction. Sabi nga natin, a very good example dyan yung China. Before the International Arbitration Court, we won over the West Philippine issue against China. But China does not recognize it. And the UN cannot do anything until now against China. So, sinabi nila, sige, mag-arestuhin si Pangulong Duterte. Kung hindi naman tayo papayag na arestuhin, what can they do? In the first place, silang pwede ma-aresto, yung mga arresting officer na magpipilit sa gusto nila. Because we have no, being a sovereign country, as a sovereign state, walang pakialam dito. The Philippines being a sovereign state, walang pakialam mga limang bansa kung ayaw nating payagan yung kanilang pakikialam sa problema natin. Besides, assuming na hindi nila ipipilit ang gusto ng ICC, despite the fact that there is that finding to that effect, and most likely ganun ang mangyari, they would just be having that findings that Duterte has committed crimes against humanity, then to our minds, they would stop there. But the disadvantage or the advantage that the opposition will able to get from it, magagamit lang issue yan in 2022 against any presidential candidate which would be endorsed by President Duterte by saying that the administration of President Duterte has committed crimes as per findings by the ICC. They would make it appear that the ICC, as an independent body, found it objectively. So, kung sino mang i-endorse ni Duterte, the Filipino definitely hindi iboboto ng mamamayan kasi merong makasundan yung yapak ng ating Pangulo na human rights violators. So yun yung this is the political agenda behind this so-called ICC findings. Pero paulit-ulit po natin sinasabi na itong mga sinasabing human rights violation is definitely baseless. Wala po itong katotohanan. At masaya ang sambayanan dito sapagkat kung hindi man naubos ang problema sa droga, malaki pong kabawasan which could have not been reduced into such minimal level without Duterte declaring war against illegal drug trade. So, dito po, ang sambayan ng Pilipino ay, except of course this few opposition, we are satisfied with the performance of the President in his handling of these drug trades, illegal drug trades. Admittedly, may mga namatay, pero sabi nga natin dyan, that is part of the war because we could not just expect those people making a huge money, a big money out of the trade, just to go easily give up. Kaya kailangan magkaroon talaga ng gera, at sa gera may casualties. And that is very natural for those victims to shout out saying na biktima sila ng kawalang katarungan. Yun naman lagi ang justification nila. Hindi man nila aminin yun na totoong sila ay talagang involved nga sa ganong illegal trade. Yung sinasabi pa nila na hindi, ang nakalimitan lang namang namamatay dyan ay yung mga street poser, yung mga small timers. Wala naman talagang big timers. Well, it's not also true. Alam naman natin there were big men in that illegal trade behind na talagang nawala na rin. Although meron pa rin ngayong pumapasok na ilan, mga Cebu may nahuli, pero continuous po yung activities ng gobyerno against them. Ang medyo nakakabahala po ay itong sinasabing human rights violations committed against this CPP and PANDF, specifically about this red tagging na sinasabi nila na red tagging endanger the lives of those who are red tagged, to the effect that there are some senators, for instance, Ping Lacson, Grace Poe, and the Makabayan Black representatives in the lower house announcing that they would be criminalizing this so-called red tagging. At ito naman kaliwat kanan na hulihan na ginagawa ng military, especially with respect to this NTF-ELCAC, bawat nahuhuli nila ang laging sinasabi na itong mga nahuhuli na ito ay hindi NPA. Instead, human rights defenders, they are critics against the abuses of the government, and what the government is doing is to silence these people. So in effect, there is a rampant violation of the human rights by the Duterte administrations. So, ang pananaw ng sambayanan dito is that these people being red tagged by the military are really CPP, NPA, NDF. We believe, as per testimony also of a lot of ex-rebels who are now working with the government to end this terrorism, atrocities committed by the CPP, NPA, NDF. Kaya tayo po we are doing this repeatedly because we want to inform the public na so that never again yung nangyari na mass recruitment of our youths to become the armed personnel as an NPA of the Communist Party would not be repeated. Ito po ang purpose natin dito. And we are happy to know, based on news from day to day, that there are hundreds, thousands of NPA surrendering. It's a good manifestation na talagang marami nang naniniwala sa kasalukuyang gobyerno na ang ikagaganda ng buhay ay hindi makakamit sa pamamagitan ng armadong pakikibaka laban sa pamahalaan. So, patuloy po rin ang ating pananawagan. Patuloy ang ating panawagan sa mga kapatid nating mga NPA, CPP, NPA, na bumalik na. Sapagkat wala namang ay dudulot na maganda ang kanilang pananatili sa bundok o sa kanilang samahan. Wala may dudulot na maganda sa kanilang sarili at sa kanilang pamilya. Gusto din po nating banggitin itong nabasa po natin sa balita na di umano itong Integrated Bar of the Philippines nananawagan sa mga judges natin. Ang sabi nila, base doon sa kanilang panawagan, na maging matapat ang mga huwis sa kanilang tungkulin, sa pagganap ng kanilang tungkulin, kung saan tanging yung may mga merito lamang talaga ang dapat maisyuhan ng warrant. Conveying the idea na maraming judges yung basta nagpapalabas ng warrant against the CPP, NPA, NDF kahit na walang legal na basihan. At nabanggit nila dito yung isang judge ng Quezon City, yung Bellabert, nasabi nila hindi naman IBP na ang nagbanggit ito, pero yung siyempre ang nagbanggit ito ay yung mga makakaliwang grupo, yung makabayan. Nasabi nila ito daw ay nagiging manufacturer ng warrant of arrest issued against the red tag citizens alleged to be CPP, NPA, NDF. So, ano po ang implication nito? Una, pinasasalamatan po natin yung judge na yan because we commend her, Vilabert. We believe that she issued that warrant of arrest in compliance with her constitutional duty, contrary to what the IBP is implying. So, ang totoo po, talagang we are lucky to have a kind of judges like this na talagang naniniwala sa military para ma-issue ng mga search warrant or warrant of arrest. Ito mga suspected terrorists, members of the CPP, NPA, NDF. Kasi without judges cooperating with the military, so hindi po makakagalaw ang military kasi nga they could not just enter any house where used as a cabin of the CPP, NPA, NDF without warrant of arrest, without search warrant or warrant of arrest issued against these people. So kung itong mga judges natin ay magpapatumpik-tumpik, ay talagang magiging malamya yung military movement against this CPP, NPA, NDF. Kasi itong laban na ito, laban sa itong gera na to, laban sa CPP, NPA, kailangan talaga dito ang coordinated action by all branches or instrumentalities of the government. So, the military is there to look for evidence necessary for the filing of case, and the court to issue warrant, then the military to implement that warrant of arrest under pain of being killed or killing anyone who refuse to be arrested and instead fight back against the military or police elements. So, without this court participation favorably, then our of the government's effort would definitely be frustrated. So we commend this Judge Vilabert who issued or who cooperate with the military in terms of issuing warrants of arrest, and there are merits to do so, contrary to some allegation of the leftist personalities saying that this court specifically has become a warrant of arrest manufacturers or search warrant manufacturers. So, ang sambayanan po, galang-galang na hukom ay nasa iyo pong likod para suportahan po kayo. And also we commend the filing of cases or case with the DOJ against Sara Ilago. We hope that the information to that effect could be filed so that a warrant also could be issued against her. Sapagkat alam po, bilang ordinaryong mamamayan, despite the denials by these people, alam po natin yung personal, alam po natin, this is a public knowledge, na itong mga party list organizations are conduit legal front of the CPP, NPA, NDF. Naturalmente po na i-deny nila yan na sila ay hindi konektado, knowing that the NPA is illegal. Nevertheless, a lot of people are, especially ex-rebels, are testifying to the effect that they have been recruited to the NPA through these legal organizations. LF is Anak Bayan, Gabriela, so forth and so on. And of course, tayo din naman, araw-araw tayong nag-oobserba sa mga kaganapan at hindi naman tayo detached sa mga ganitong pangyayari. Pagka tayo din naman ay nagtuturo din sa kolehiyo, sa isang pamantasan na kilala din naman na talagang isa sa mga pinaka-aktibong o fertile ground of recruitment. That cannot be denied because we had also personal experience about these things. Kaya tayo mismo sinasabi natin ito kasi ito sa ating personal knowledge na itong mga organisasyon na to during our college time, during this time na tayo na-involved sa pagtuturo mismo sa universidad, consider one of the most fertile ground for recruitment towards the NPA or for the sure to become the NPA. So, to a certain degree, you have personal knowledge. Kaya hindi po natin ito madi-deny. At yung atin namang intention dito, kung bakit natin ginagawa ito, of course, we have no personal grudge against anyone, definitely. Hindi nga natin kilala yung mga yan eh. Sila Teddy Casino, napakita lang natin sa TV yan, sa Renato Reyes. But these people, katulad dyan sila, yung iba, they were working with the labor sector. Once upon a time, we had been with the labor sector as personnel of the National Federation of Labor. Naging staff din po tayo dyan. Where, of course, we had associated with a lot of people with left thinking. May mga nakausapin tayong mga country dyan na talagang silang kumilos sa labor. So, labor, then with the student sectors, alam natin kasi kumbaga nagkaroon tayo ng personal association with these groups at na alam natin ginagalawan ng mga taong ito kahit sa mga rally napapasama tayo pero sumasama tayo by our own, not because we were with them. We joined rallies by our own to denounce valid issues. But we did not join rallies because we were one of them, mga leftists na yan. We were invited many times to join with them, but we refused because we do not believe in their philosophy. But with respect to valid issues being raised against the government, against the administration of Marcos and ERAP, so we participated as an ordinary citizen joining the rally. But of course, we were invited by some leaders who are leftists, asking us to join them, but we refuse. So in other words, as it is a public knowledge, with our actual experience, we know for a fact that these organizations are really connected with the CPP, NPA, NDF. Kaya po kahit anong pagdi-deny nila, kahit anong sinasabi nila, we do not believe. And we use this medium to inform the public, to work with other people doing the same thing, to inform the public, because this is really the time, the right time for us all to work together to be able to end these local communist atrocities, injustices, terrorism, with the president who has the political will to end this up. Ang kailangan lang po, magtulong-tulong talaga tayo, magkaisa tayo, at lahat ng mga kalaban dito, yung mga sumasimpatiya sa kanila, ibulgar natin. Kaya nga muli, ang panawagan natin yan sa lower house, tanggalin yung Makabayan Block, ituloy yung pagpapail ng kaso sa COMELEC so that by 2022, this party list of the Makabayan Block could no longer participate in the election. At saka we call especially the attention of the Commission on Human Rights. Itong Commission on Human Rights talaga, yung mga tao dyan, dapat yan hanapan ng, we call upon the NTF, LCAP, and even the government, the DOJ, to look into ways by which a case could be filed against these people para matanggal yung mga yan. Kasi hanggat hindi natatanggal yan dyan, nagagamit nila ang ahensya para i-promote ang agenda ng CPP, NPA, NDF. So, Commission on Human Rights, UP, MSU, PUP, yung mga university na to, tingnan kung how could the government file cases against these personalities who are connected with the said agencies, government agencies, who use their being there, their positions, to promote rather the advocacy in whatever way of the CPP, NPA, NDA. For the time being, we say good night. Thank you, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Again, we invite everyone as a token of support to subscribe our YouTube channel, ang paninindigan, ang ating paninindigan sa napapanahong isyu ng lipunan. Maraming salamat po at magandang gabi sa lahat.